And,
I hope so.
and behind the ship, little pockets of ice begin forming as towards the aft, some distance away, do appear to be a duo of ice elementals.
Oh, is Miss Demon Lady back?
But Fargus is dead. I don't think.
I
I would kind of be happy if she was, but
The sailors, they
HX.
sort of like drop what they're doing because they're like trying to prepare for the storm. They go into like a panic. So like they don't really move. Like sort of like, oh fuck, why did I take this job? I should have been a cowboy. I should have done it.
Get yourself in line, men, and get ready for weathering more than one storm.
They are not even remotely inspired.
No, he's not very inspiring.
No.
But maybe they should get themselves to goddamn do what they do.
Yeah.
They're sailors. after
Stand
all.
to!
Safety or whatever. They'll like get away from like the edges of the ships.
Get off me!
Like Hakim, don't let me go.
However, it does not seem that the elementals, while initially spotted, are approaching. The air elementals stay hovering in the air, some distance away, and the water elementals stay poised, some distance away to the north, as do the ice elementals, some distance behind the ship.
What's
we
in
can't really
front of the
reach them with
ship?
anything, right?
Appears to be the open, calm waters of the Midland Sea.
Does it now?
So, like, elementals, they speak, right? That's a thing. I don't really know how to feel about them. I think Fog has always said that they had, like, personalities and things, but...
We'll say that Dwohurim has never tried to speak into an elemental, and he's probably never heard one speak.
I think the idea was that they could. He looks slightly confused at the others. Death Speaker, do you know if elementals, like... I know they're used for all kinds of purposes that people don't want to do, but...
The Death Speaker will say, well, they are used quite extensively by the Archmage and by many others. For the High Druid, of course, they're more akin to allies and friends.
That would suggest that they could speak. Perhaps some of them.
Death Speaker shrugs. I haven't had much opportunity to talk to them.
Well, I mean, they seem to be looking at us, right?
They certainly, like, their vaguely humanoid faces do appear to be faced in your direction.
Sort of wave a hand sort of carefully towards them and see if there's any sort of reaction.
So, a gusting sound from the south. It's hard to describe. It's as if air is grating against your ears. Sarles, the ever-living, sends his regards.
Oh, that clears that up.
This is utilizing the High Druid 6 that Dwohurim rolled, particularly since he is going from less of a negative into more of a conflicted attitude. The air elementals will actually work together to, they'll coalesce and position themselves behind the ship for you folks who are wanting to head southwest. And with gusts of air, they'll begin directing the vessel so that it can actually pick up some speed. Whereas the water elementals will help to part the water around the ship so that it travels very quickly, thus eluding the storm.
You know, maybe druids aren't so bad, after all.
They are with
Something.
you for a short time, perhaps 90 minutes at most, before they depart, leaving the vessel out of the way of the storm that would have otherwise approached, if only just so. And it seems now, since the storm is going to be passing behind you, that the speed will suddenly pick up far more quickly.
Good work, men.
The men appear to be more relieved than anything else.
Good thing we didn't attack them straight on.
Yeah. Like, attack him from now on. That'd be dumb. Real dumb.
I consider that as a possibility.
They would probably have been beyond far away anyway.
Yeah.
Well, they certainly would have tried to get closer to help.
Yeah. Well, you know, we let them help. This whole new outlook of things with not taking all this the violent path is really beginning to pay off. I feel like I've accomplished more without fighting recently than ever before. Well, I mean, depending on my old job.
So yes, the third day passes then into night. Without incident other than you folks moving far more quickly along the Midland Sea. Which then, if there's nothing that you folks wish to do...
No. No, I'm happy with
Not
moving
really.
quickly.
Okay.
We'll keep watch during the night still, but yeah.
Alright. Which will then pass into the fourth day and night. So the ship moving quickly still as you head for... The captain will ask, which angle you wish to approach Creel. Like, you want to go from, the northern side?
I think there's a small dock, slightly burned on the south side.
Yes, there is certainly that, if you wish to dock there.
Oh, we have good memories of the place.
The desk speaker will casually remind that was a terrible location to dock. And what with it being proven that Black Fang vessels have clearly are capable of coming out in pursuit, perhaps they might still be looking.
Well,
I'll say we just stock at the north side and we could go ashore with the rowboat.
Maybe that's what we'll do then.
It can certainly be done as well. The living dungeon will not be convenient or easy to go to on the north side, but it's certainly far safer. In regards to a maybe ship won't get burned sense.
Yes.
As such, as the fifth day comes, and it's not far into the day, perhaps early afternoon, the ship does arrive at the northern shores of the island of Creel. Land ho! And the ship can be anchored a little bit of distance away, allowing you to row if you so wish, although it's up to you whether you guys want to trust yourselves and if you may need to make a quick getaway to put your lives in the rowboat.
I mean, do we have a choice here if we want to get to land?
Yeah, we're not going to swim there.
Like,
We're not going to beach the ship either.
Like, there's a natural sort of port and a draw thing that could be fold down. I mean, there's certainly docks and piers on the northern side of the island as well. Like, this used to be a visited location.
Let's pick one of those then.
Okay.
You know what?
Sure.
The dock, or rather the vessel, is sailed to one of the northern docks. Thick foliage. It seems that these trees are evergreen ones. Nearby, they keep their leaves, even in the throes of winter. Their needles sort of covers the area. A nice breeze blows in from behind the ship. The rigging is handled, and the vessel is moored within the natural harbor of the island of Creel. The sailors look nervous. Then again, they've looked nervous this entire time, sort of looking at the island, aware of the stories as much as you all are.
Well, that's bigger, I suppose. Be watchful of chaos beasts.
The speaker frowns and says, "Well, I suppose my life always gets to be exciting."
Would you rather come with us into the angry dungeon?
And Death Speaker blinks and says, "If I leave, what do you think the odds are that they overthrow the captain and sail the ship out of here?"
Rather high.
Exactly. I'll see what I can do with the sailors. He clearly measured it out to form a nicer word, like sailors, rather than something else that may have come to mind.
Alright. Well, I suppose we shouldn't delay.
Yes, it is early afternoon on, I do believe it is, yes, the 18th of readying. You left Drakenhall 5 days ago.
As we leave this chapter, we'll quietly mumble to the others that not killing the Death Speaker was probably one of the best decisions we ever made. He is very, very helpful.
Unless he walks away, of course.
He's done that once before, and he was sure it was death to stay. Then we followed him afterwards, so, you know.
Perhaps Aurelia's a little resentful about that.
No,
She would never carry a grudge.
not at all.
Okay. You folks bring your cages with you? Sort of like try to like cart them through like the northern forest area, like heading for the living dungeon?
Do they have wheels on them?
Did you buy them with wheels?
Yes.
I suppose for 20 gold pieces each, sure, you could have wheels on them if you really
A little
want.
horse to pull them.
You didn't buy the horse. I didn't hear a horse.
Geráck can pull them.
Alright. I imagine there's like a rope or something you can pull it from.
I mean,
It's gonna be a real
I
pain
have
to
over
have those
200
on your
feet of
back
rope.
with a chaos beast inside.
Leon certainly does have quite a bit of rope.
Yeah.
Good, because I'm not. No, this is.
Although
Geráck
it will really occupy Geráck quite a bit to wear his full plate and then haul like these 6 large cages behind him. It's not a matter of like the pure weight, it's a matter of how cumbersome it is.
Yeah, the others will have to help him a bit, but
These sailors are gonna look very questioningly at us.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially since
What are you gonna catch in there?
any road that existed on the island has long been overgrown, over the past decade. And it is very difficult and frustrating to traverse. It will definitely slow you down.
the best bit is when we have to do this in reverse with beasts inside.
Yep.
Yeah, that are angry and like breathing fire and whatnot.
As such, what I'm going to want you folks to do, you're going to have to... I'm going to want skill checks from you as you attempt to locate the dungeon, the living dungeon. On the south side, it's pretty much a straight shot. There's a large enough road, and the dungeon connects there. The north side does not have one such thing. These roads are overgrown. You're going to have to traverse through this forested area with some snow on the ground in places, and find your way through, particularly while hauling these damn cages. So I'm going to need some skill checks, or here's some arguments based on how you folks are going to work towards that. And all of you can assist, or perhaps one person can do it. It's up to you guys.
Alright. Tempus regularly had to find an escape route. He is a survivor of the Dwarven Games. He found a way out, so he had to know where the exit was and how to traverse dangerous areas full of potential monsters. As such, I'm trying to go gauge Grimith's face here, and it's a case of, is it believable or is it not believable?
Like a teacher at an exam.
It's like it's like you're having that presentation and you see out the corner of your eye the teacher just jotting something down, then pausing, waiting, jotting some more. Yes! Yes!
Then you see if he shakes his head, then you try to say something
Go
else.
on.
Yep, there we go. I was waiting for it. I was fucking waiting for it. Right. So, as a survivor of the Dwarven Games, Tempus regularly involved himself in situations of he had to find a way to get through this death-defying gladiator combat of gauntlet of doom. And as such, he's on an island where there is a monster that he's pretty sure wants to kill him. And instead of going away from the monster, he's going to go against his logic and go towards the monster. So he's going to try and go against all of his background and experience and head towards the danger rather than away from it.
So, how does this background assist him in finding the way to the living dungeon?
Go towards the place with the most danger. It was a long shot.
Now's the time where you try to say something. Oh no, wait, no, that's not how I remembered it.
So what you're essentially trying to do here is reversing the polarity of your inbuilt danger magnet, right?
It's just taking the inverse. It's like that thing we talked about, sheep.
I'm gonna have to go with a no on this one. I don't think your character can do that.
It was worth a shot. I didn't have anything really that could go with it. Anyway.
Okay, Grimith.
Alright.
Okay, Grimith. So,
Give me your fucking wilderness survival background.
Well, there you go. That sounds like an A.
about to say, because I have survived a scout, it seems like a relevant thing for this location.
It is. But you
So I
should-
imagine like climbing up, like looking out, like trying to find like the road. I guess like wisdom based. Looking
No,
out.
if you're climbing, that should be strength based.
Well, strength based. Okay. Same kind of.
If you're going to
bonus.
climb up the trees to try and get a better like spotting of where the living dungeon is, I like that. That's strength based. We'll look for DC 20 on that. Okay. That will shave off some travel time. Anyone else wish to attempt?
As a frontier prospector, Dwohurim certainly hauled heavy gear through terrible terrain before. It's really not about just pulling through all these damn leaves and whatnot. It's about finding the areas of vegetation. Makes it the easiest to really move things.
Like if you're
but
playing
knowing
the
your
Oregon,
surroundings.
like if you're playing the
Yeah,
Oregon Trail
yeah.
game and you like reach a hill, we need to chain the wheels.
Yeah.
Sure, you can use your foresty background that I know you have, your prospector, along with an intelligence modifier in your level.
All right.
And we're looking for a DC 20 here.
Oh.
Alright, that is a failure by Firewar. Dwohurim's efforts actually end up slowing down the caravan of cages.
I picked the wrong. I mean, this type of terrain usually isn't so difficult.
Yes, effectively nullifying what Neon... Neon? God damn it! What Leon did.
I now glow in the dark.
I'll go over and eat some pizza and shame.
Alright.
One sec. I need this entire trip will now have fairy fire running or dancing like it.
Alright, anyone else have ways for how they'd like to try and help navigate and actually locate the damn living dungeon?
Well, not so much that, but sort of making sure that the cards don't hit any large boulders and stuff like that. Geráck will use his for case raw strength to just pull it, but also as a leader of the Frostman's companions, he sort of have to move heavy gear through rough terrain before. Not so much in forest, but more mountainous terrain. He has had to pull the cart through rough ground where there's lots of rocks and stuff like that, and have to make sure that the cart can actually get through and not get stuck.
Alright, I can see that. You go with a strength-based interpretation, you go with a constitution-based interpretation. You go with an intelligence-based interpretation that I know you like the idea of. Sure, you can do that.
Right? God damn it. I did something wrong.
Ed.
You rolled the imaginary die.
You rolled imaginary dice. Son of a- Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Geráck does not slow down his trip, but he does overestimate his capabilities at times, and combines that with Dwohurim's inaccurate assessments of various hills or overgrown areas that you encounter, and he's not able to speed up the trip.
Man, our
Sort of-
fucking luck.
Sort of going on
Yeah.
based of what Leon is saying. I give you folks the non-combat situations, and time again we just...
It's like perfect for me. But then I roll a 2. I got my rituals and my conversation skills, and
I mean, I can't do much when you've got like a fucking like plus 12 or even like fucking higher.
the universe just hates him. That's really why.
Anything else that Sheep or Gryph would like to attempt?
I'm trying to think, like-
attempted anything.
Tempus is more urban based. Standing
He
in a
Yeah,
sure
forest.
it's-
is. He sure is.
Same for Aurelia, really. I was going to do the thing with the trees that Leon did, but
You know
I don't
what?
think doing
Me
that
and you
twice.
Me and you could team up. We could do something dexterous. Me and you, we could find ways to do pulleys to kind of rock like the cages forward in an attempt, like elaborate rope scheme.
That's more engineering, though, isn't it?
Well, you're dexterous. You get up there. I tie them. I'm trying to think of something creative and fun here.
You
Can't you
perhaps-
just, can't you
perhaps-
just like
I mean,
run
you could-
ahead and scout, and then come back and tell us if you saw anything that pointing to where the dungeon is? Can you like?
you could attempt to
see
do that.
things?
You could say right in, okay, so suddenly a pool of quicksand is there in front of Geráck, and this is how we help him and the cages get past that obstacle, and stuff like that. Like, this is a role-playing opportunity.
That's one. You could invent a disaster.
Yes, you could invent a disaster.
The risk is if you fail, that disaster is real.
Yeah, let's invent a disaster and then roll a 1 trying to fix it, which means I will have not only invented a disaster, but also made everything worse.
We're now drowning in quicksand.
Aren't the disasters you invent better than the disasters I invent?
That's true.
We have a potential to overestimate this, though.
I don't have anything to say to that.
No idea what you mean.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to be creative in this one, and probably.
It also doesn't have to incorporate your background. It would just be a level and straight up ability modifier. But, this would be the situation where you could argue for a background. Which not everyone can, because not everyone has a background suitable for a situation.
That's the kicker. I'm urban.
You can also try to pull the cards, well, not the cards, but the cages in a specific way, so it doesn't take as much effort to pull them as just pulling them straight
I think you're constraining yourself too much here. There used to be like buildings and this shit. I'm sure there's like ruins somewhere, or ruined village or something that we can navigate safely.
Well, that's the thing. Is it was probably one of the things I was thinking of was probably like a tree falling down, but probably ruins falling down would be a better one. A way to navigate around the ruins so we don't bump into anything that collapses.
Maybe there's full of panthers or something there. Who knows?
How about this then? Aurelia did live in Dragonhall for a time and certainly has navigated the ruins probably at some point in her life. Maybe she remembers this special trick to always travel through the least obstructed part of ruins by looking at the walls and how they've fallen and then being like, yep, we have to go left here because right will be full of tiny rocks that are going to make everything really awkward.
You can use your intelligence modifier or your wisdom modifier plus your level.
Okay.
We'll see whether Aurelia's idea actually holds true. It does! Aurelia, perhaps through either accurate guessing, or maybe there is some truth to her words, does manage to help the group navigate through what may have otherwise been treacherous situations where the wheels would have gotten stuck, thus exerting Geráck even more so than he already is.
Okay, following on from listening to Aurelia's rather inspiring words of, no, don't go that way, the linchpin's going to fall down, Keystone's weak there, small rubble here, we can go down this path. Tempus is trying to keep an eye out, watching things, and he's quite amazed at her skills at navigating the ruins.
Okay.
And Tempus wonders, is there a secret path here? Is there a way through these ruins? I mean, yeah, these ruins have survived the test of times. Maybe he can point out something, maybe a shortcut. And Tempus will maybe deviate a little bit from Aurelia. I mean, there's large cages getting dragged around. And he'll have a sort of a walk around some of the walls of the ruins on maybe more of the solid construction, see if he can find any hidden doors or passageways through them.
Okay. You can use your intelligence modifier or your wisdom modifier plus your level.
Would I get Scholar of the Forge on that? Because of his idea of trying to look at architecture?
Sure, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, you find the iron sea sharks.
Like with that, I'm trying to think more wisdom based because he's doing it on a sort of a casual thing. But
sure.
So 3.
Okay. Yes.
Woo.
Miss, you can tell us even more about what Tempus Malleator found, Griffin God.
As Tempus sort of as he's walking across and hearing Aurelia go, no, Tempus, don't go over there. Tempus, what are you doing? It's gonna fall down on you. And Tempus goes, just hold on. And Tempus just about to lean on a rock just to go, it's stable. See, something sinks, and you just have a look of terror on Tempus's face as he suddenly thinks the wall's going to collapse, and you just hear click, and everything stops for a moment, and Tempus is just not moving, and then you hear a faint rumbling, and suddenly a sort of a large part of the wall sinks in, and then into the deepens, and then drops into the floor with a sudden kaboom, opening a rather large path. Tempus looks kind of stunned at himself and goes, meant that. Totally meant that. I'm gonna go down this way. As Tempus starts walking into the very large opening that's appeared before him.
All right. All the other players are too stunned to have their characters react to that.
Wow, Tempus. I didn't think we could go that way. I mean, I was sure we should have gone the other way.
With that, combined with the successes and failures of the group canceling each other out, and then Tempus's 20 on top of that, that will mean that you have taken the least amount of time required for you to find and then traverse to the living dungeon of Creel. 4 hours hauling those cages. That's as long as it takes for your group to traverse and reach the exterior of the living dungeon of Creel. I have made that map available for you folks to load up. Now, since it's only taken 4 hours, you are at, like 1800, 6 p.m.-ish range, as you finally reach the familiar, for some of you, sight of the exterior of the living dungeon, with its bright, jaunty sign, sticking out there, welcoming newcomers. The snow here has mostly melted, though there are areas that are shaded by the trees where patches endure. The area is less green than depicted on the map, because when you first arrived here, it was it was greener, and I didn't feel like doing an entirely new map. Yes. And it does not seem, at initial glance, that anyone is out and around you. You 5 and your 6 cages are alone here, outside the living dungeon.
Geráck just sits down for a bit, takes a breather, and...
I need a quick rest, guys.
Yeah. Basically, yes.
Yes.
Dwohurim will quickly check around while he does that. If it seems like there's been anyone here very recently.
I won't force you to make a roll for that. It does not appear to be the case.
All right. Then I'll be right back.
Okay. Anyone have anything they want to do or say? Just because Manakite's gone doesn't mean you can't act.
Well, Aurelia, Geráck, you got any questions about this place?
What?
What? Oh, you're asleep.
It's just half. What did you say about this place? Questions?
If you have any about it. Interestingly enough, I wouldn't be surprised if he could hear us, or it. I'm going to say it, if it could hear us right now. So.
I have heard some things about this place, but right now I can't really think of any questions. I got. No.
I'm half imagining that Geráck's just going to have a snooze for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I got no questions, and just turn this helmet so 90 degrees sleep mode.
I'm sure it's very comfortable to do that.
The ancestral helmet protects his face.
Yeah, it's a pillow on the other side.
The transforming dwarvish magic helmet.
Oh, shit. That is the true secret of your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if Tempus is willing to answer questions, then Aurelia would ask him if he can maybe try to remember the layout of this place last time he was here, so she can maybe make a quick map for herself.
Well, last time we were here, the dungeon was split into 3 areas. We had the combat, we had riddles, and then we had sort of athletic tests. We took the riddle route. Now, I'm pretty sure this dungeon will have probably changed since we've last been here. But, you know what? The route that we took, we fought a giant snowman. Who, well, I fought. He simply told us a couple of riddles. We succeeded the second time. Then we fought chaos monsters. We had a room full of scorching sand where we needed to jump over it. Tempest looks inquisitively up at the sky for a bit, trying to remember.
Ghasts. There were also ghasts.
There was the ghasts. There was the invisible bridge room with the spikes at the bottom, where you decided to find your wings.
Well, the place might change, but the walls might not. If we can see a place where tearing down the wall would give us a shotgun, that could be worth considering. We are not here to play by its rules, after all, because we are already going to break some.
Chances are we are already broken some rules, but from what I remember of the rumors, that I'm going to genuinely say, take these with a pinch of salt, because it gave us these rumors, and we heard that. If you break the rules, bad things happen. Probably more chaos spawn appear for us to fight. Perhaps Creel will be fair, Tempest says very sarcastically. He may, as long as we obey by the rules, he won't be too bad on us. He'll still be bad because we're breaching his first rule, which is don't come back.
We could ask him about it.
Once we go in, can we actually get out?
Yes.
Alright.
Well, again, unless he decides to change that, when we were in last time, we could easily walk out of it.
But then he makes it very easy for us to decide what we should do, doesn't he?
The thing is, though, we can only enter once in a 24-hour period.
Well, we could enter more times, but it resets after 24 hours.
I was thinking about how we're gonna bring the Chaos Beasts or whatever into these cages.